In today's video, I want to talk about Donald Trump's abuse and mistreatment of the queer community. Donald Trump is no stranger to blatantly lying, and he often contradicts himself. According to PolitiFact, over 60% of what he says is blatantly false. His standards regarding the truth is no exception to the queer community. For an example, we can look at his handling of the military. Trump has repeatedly made hints at banning queer members from service in the military. For context, this ideology originated from the Don't Ask, Don't Tell bill, in which soldiers were silenced into secrecy about being openly queer in order to remain enlisted. In World War I and World War II, psychiatrists classified homosexuality as a mental disorder and listed homosexuality as an excludable characteristic in military regulations. By 2009, the military had discharged more than 13,000 gays, lesbians, and bisexuals since Don't Ask, Don't Tell was introduced, according to the Service Members Legal Defense Network. The Don't Ask, Don't Tell bill finally ended in 2011 thanks to Barack Obama. Accompanying this, the mass acceptance of gay marriage occurred in states from 2010 to 2015. They did happen earlier than this, but states like Georgia only adhered to this in June 26, 2015, when it was required in all 50 states due to a decision by the Supreme Court. In 2015, the Pentagon added sexual orientation to the military equal opportunity policy for the first time, meaning gay servicemen and servicewomen would be protected from discrimination. In June 2016, the military also ended its ban on transgender service members. However, once Trump was instated in 2018, he signed a bill that banned some transgender people from the US military service. Recently, on Sunday, March 9th, Trump shared an article on his Truth Social platform, using the symbol of an upside-down pink triangle. This symbol originated in Nazi concentration camps in the 30s to 40s to label homosexuals. Additionally, the federal government's Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration announced it was ending specialized services for queer youth on July 17th. These resources alone had received around 1.3 million contacts from queer youth since launch. According to the Trevor Project, 38% of queer youth in Georgia considered suicide in 2024, while the US as a whole had an average of 39%. However, Trump didn't always have this viewpoint. Until Trump got in office, he stated his policies would be gay and trans inclusive, and he followed this to a certain extent. In 2012, Trump praised that Miss USA's Olivia Culpo for stating that transgender women should be allowed to compete in the Miss Universe pageant. Additionally, in 2016, Trump stated that transgender people should use whatever bathroom they felt appropriate. My personal interpretation of the research I have done, and with the context of America right now, is that with an unpredictable economy, rising tensions between the US and other countries, political tension and violence in America, and heat against other American minorities such as immigrants, is that some Americans are just looking for a group to blame. And like immigrants, queer people are now a target, despite it being unjust. To get some additional opinions, because this is a very opinionated and very political video, I interviewed Senior Lily Walters and Junior Everett Toth. Senior Lily Walters says, "I think the main problem I see is the alienation to queer youth. I've heard from gay teens that I know about their experiences hiding their sexuality and how people have treated them differently after they came out. I think it's due to the large amount of prejudice in our society and lack of acceptance towards queer youth that hurts them in the long run. I see government policies alienating these teens more. One example that sticks out to me is Florida's banning of teaching AP psychology in schools because it contains topics of sexual orientation. There's this erasure of queerness that isolates a group of people and leads to poor treatment and poor mental health of these gay teens. It's been such a battle for gay people to be allowed in the military, and to see Trump publish these images crossing out the pink triangle is disheartening. It solidifies my statement that queer people are going through erasure in this country, and I'm worried that if people don't recognize and stop this, then we will undergo serious recession of rights for queer people in our country." Junior Everett Toth says, "Difficulties I've witnessed queers face directly are slurs or other provoking or demeaning statements, bullying and harassment, online and physical. They are discriminated against just as any other minority. Trump's policy on queer youth is a direct removal of supports, resources, and systems. And for what? To try and act like the population who has always been and always will be doesn't exist." He ordered an executive actions 8 days ago, as of recording this, out of his inauguration, blatantly using misleading and hazardous rhetoric to criminalize trans healthcare, human and civil rights. This being the Protecting Children from Chemical and Surgical Mutilation Act from the White House on January 28, 2025. The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration initiated the closure of the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifelines LGBTQ+ Youth Services Program, an evidence-based service. He is hitting the vulnerable, and queer youth will suffer from it, removing care, lying about the care that was being given, and how it affects the victims is what he has done and will continue doing. Whether it be queers, non-whites, those poverty-stricken will all be harmed if action taken on misinformation or to create misinformation is continued. As for his usage of the pink triangle, be it Musk's questionable salute or Hitler did some good things from Trump, look it up on PBS, I think it all paints a certain authoritarian picture. But of course, this is all just my opinion, and we all know he will protect free speech, just like Kimmel.